What's up YouTube, and welcome to game number 4 of the YouTube series Why Are You Losing Your Ranked Games. Today we have HRE versus a Ruse. The HRE player is Platinum 3, the Ruse player is a Diamond 1. So we have an even matchup. We play on the map Lipany, and we can already see the HRE player is with Double Scout on his way trying to deny the bounty from the Ruse. Ruse so far is going for the greedy attempt, not making any scouts out of his town center. He's trying to go for the hunting cabin scouts only. This is okay, but you will obviously get way less bounty if you are unlucky, because if your opponent is playing 2 scouts and your second scout is delayed because you are not producing it out of the town center, you can end up having way less bounty than usual. So, what is important in this matchup? When you play versus HRE in general, you always have to think about how can I deny the relics the best or delay them the best as I can. So what you don't want when you play versus HRE is they hit Castle Age and they grab 3 relics instantly. So you should be able to, or not you should be able to, you have to get some map control, get some knights on the field, get some archers going maybe. Just get some map presence so they cannot pick up the relics easily as soon as they hit Castle Age. And scouting versus HRE is super important because first of all you want to know when they are going Castle Age and what units are they going for. So let's speed it a little bit up. We can see HRE player is just going for a fast fuel age here. Who's obviously a little bit delayed due to 3 scouts. What we can see, the Aachen Chapel here is covering the TC, the woodline and the gold. So overall a pretty decent chapel here. The Ruse player is going up with the Golden Gate on the other side. You don't see Golden Gate too much lately. I think the Kremlin is a good choice at the moment. I mean, Golden Gate is still a great landmark. But the Kremlin is equal as good, I think, right now. But yeah, it's still I think it's an even decision on what you go. If you go for the Kremlin, you can be a little bit more aggressive with the militia. But yeah, the Golden Gate overall is a pretty solid landmark as well. So, HRE player is Feudal Age, instantly getting the prelate inside of the chapel. Really great here. You want to utilize that landmark as soon as you hit Feudal Age. We have a wooden fortress here for the Ruse player. He is trying to jump into the woodline to place a hunting cabin here to increase his passive gold income. And I guess he's gonna do that in a second here. He is going for one stable here, so he's trying to get some knights on the field to get some map control. We already saw he used 1 ticket here, so he either sold food or wood and got 150 gold for that. So if we change division, so this is the vision of the Ruse player. You have 1 scout here. You see already your opponent is trying to wall. So that means he is either trying to be super greedy or he's trying to hide something from you. So right now he's quick walling. You're gonna lose 1 scout here most likely. Yeah, that's unfortunate. But you still have 2 more scouts in the end. So 1 scout should be behind his base for 100% here, and you have to know what he is doing. You're doing that right now, your scout is moving out, and I hope you're trying to get some vision around his base on what he's doing. We have the first knight on the field, the second knight is in production. You can see here the Ruse player is going for the boar, so he wants to get this juicy food gathering rate on the boar, and is also increasing his bounty by 75 gold. You see the hunting cabin gives 56 gold per minute as well, so a really good one here. So what is the HRE player doing? We can see already he's stockpiling the resources here and is about to go Castle Age in a second here. So you try to the Ruse player, I say you because he suggested me this replay. The Ruse player right now is trying to put on some map control or some pressure on the HRE player But the problem is right now, you don't know what he's doing. So you have 2 scouts. One scout is AFK here, out of his TC range, so you don't see anything. And your second scout is here. So right now, you saw that he walled here, and your units just came through here. So it's obvious he will try to wall this one in a second. So you just had 2 knights here. I think it's worth it here. Pull the knights back, kill the villager. You can take the boar in the end to increase your bounty even more. And there's no threat of him walling this off. So right now, the HRE player is Castle Age, but the Rus player is not aware of this yet. Okay, now he is aware of what's going on. HRE player is trying to go next stage. And now he's trying to do as much damage as possible. He ends up killing 2 villagers already. So that is great value here from the knights. But you really have to be careful to not lose these knights, because these knights are a big investment, 140 food and 100 gold. So yeah, you really want to be careful with these units. We can see in the top, the Rus player has 6 economy lead already. He killed 2 villagers, and maybe the HRE player missed on producing some villagers, but 6 or 5 eco lead at this point is already a good achievement at minute 9. So, if I am the Rus player right now, and I know, okay, my opponent is going up with the Regnitz Cathedral, the first thing you have to do is make sure you know where all 5 relics are. So, for example, we have 1 relic here, we have 1 relic here, we have 1 relic here. I think this is safe to say this is yours. So, right now, there are only 2 relics close to the HRE player. That's this one and that one. So, the other thing you have to think about it. If you play Lipany, sometimes the seeds can be really closed off naturally already. By cliffs or tree lines or whatever. So, what you could have done here is you could have walled off this side. So you have half of the map walled off already. You could have walled here from cliff to cliff again. So basically, there's only 1 opening left where he can come and try to get these relics. So, if you have this walled, you don't have to worry about this and this relic. And then you can concentrate on defending this relic and this relic. And if you wall this off, you are most likely denying 3 relics from the HRE player, which is already a great success. Because if you have walls here and here, these 2 relics are blocked off, and this relic is so far in your base, this is like impossible to get for the HE player. So, you have to only think about that relic, to be honest, because this one is super close to his base on the other side, and he has spearmen already, and right now you only have 2 archers and 3 knights. So the spearmen can escort the prelate and get the relic home. So, yeah. If you play versus HRE, try to lock them off the relics as good as you can. And if you play on an open map like Dry Arabia, where you are like, okay, I cannot wall this without investing too much, you have to split your units, but you have to scout really well, because you want to know where is the HRE player going, what relic is he trying to get at first. And then you can move with your army. Right now, he only has spearmen, so his army is really immobile. And you have 3 knights, so you can use your mobility and try to snipe some reinforcements off or some prelates while they are going for the relics. You try to interrupt the Regnitz Cathedral here, but you killed another villager, so it wasn't too bad, but you also lost a knight and you lost almost another one because this one is really low HP already. So I think it's not too worth it to lose too much of your knights, because as I said, the knights are important. Yeah, now you lost the knight because you tried to kill another villager, but you have spearmen here, so it's never a charge in for you. Because right now you lost 2 knights, that also lowers the chances for you to deny the relics from the HRE player, because you have not that much map control anymore. And yeah, he has easier times to try to grab the relics. So, you are going up with another. You have another stable, so you're trying to make more knights. You have an archer range to make some archers for the spearmen. That makes sense. So now the HRE player is in Castle Age. So right now you only see spearmen. But now he's castle age, so he can make knights himself. So what you should do here is you have to really scout what he is going for. So if we check your vision, you have no vision from behind his base. You have one scout here being AFK since 5 minutes. Your scout could be here, for example, or could try to sneak in here and see what production building he's going for. Because right now you are going for knights and archers. So if he's just going full knights himself now, first of all his knights are stronger and you don't have too many knights. So by the time HRE hits castle age, they can probably pump out 2 or 3 knights instantly if they have the stable set up for that. So you could be in big problems here really soon, because you are not aware of what he is going for. So if we activate the God Vision again, we can see the HE player is still on 1 barracks. So right now the only threat, he could make man-at-arms. But since you have knights, knights deal quite good with the man-at-arms before they have their heavy maces upgrade. So yeah, that's good so far. And now you can see you're trying to cover this relic here. But again, you lost 1 knight here for free because you were too greedy in trying to snipe the prelate here. You have 4 spearmen versus 2 knights. That's never a fight you want to take. You just gotta give up on this relic, or you try to buy time and bring your archers over, because right now he only has spearmen. So again, you try to go for the prelate, you take unnecessary damage here from the spearmen. So first relic is picked up here. As I said, this is the relic that was most likely to get picked up by HRE, so not much you can do about that. So you are going up yourself with the Abbey of Trinity on the other side of the map. So that means you are trying to get the relics yourself, but 1 relic is already disappeared and you didn't wall yourself up. So you have to fight about all 4 relics at this point. So first relic for the HAE player is coming in. And now you have to think where he can go next. So he has this one, but your reinforcements, or this is in your reinforcement line, so this is probably unlikely for him to get. Another knight goes down. You really have to pay attention with your early knights. If you play French or Rus, the early knights are such a big investment, you really don't want to lose them. 1 knight is 240 resources, and if you lose them for 1 villager, it doesn't feel too worth it at all in the beginning. So right now you're castle 8 yourself, you instantly make the warrior monk yourself to try to pick up your own relics, so that is great. You also have 1 scout here to cover this 1 relic, and you still have 1 scout here. So still you are not aware of what he's going for. You have no vision inside of his base, and yeah, you really gotta scout what production buildings he's going for. You can also send 1 scout here and try to get some vision over the hill here. First of all, you see if he's trying to sneak out villagers to the other side of the map. Like he has villagers here on the berries right now. You can also always bring a villager and try to chop open here. So you can get into his, or you can get behind his walls without him noticing if he's not paying attention. So the plan is to bring 1 villager here to cut this tree. That means the wall is not closed off anymore. And then you can just go in with your knights and you can just pick up some villagers. Okay. So right now you see a lot of spearmen are coming out. And right now you only have 2 archers in the front, but you have 6 more coming. So this could be a good fight, but you have to really micro your archers. If you stand still, the spearmen do a good job to them. You really have to kite with them and use your range. And you want to focus the spearmen, obviously, because you have knights to clean up the men-at-arms if the spearmen are down. But in the end, you're still in a pretty good spot, I guess. HRE player has only 1 relic at the 13-minute mark, and you are 8 economy ahead. So this is not too bad, but again, you're losing your archers for free here. You're going melee versus men-at-arms and spearmen, and this is obviously never a good choice. Some more good raids coming in. I think you could have committed more here, because right now, you know his army is in the middle. You have +1 ranged armor. That means you have, oh, you now even have 2 ranged armor. So right now you have 6 ranged armor on your knights. And he has no spearmen around his base. So right now, you can idle all these villagers, because you have 6 ranged armor. This TC barely do any damage to your knights. So that means you can either kill way more villagers here, or you can force a lot more idle time. You went for the safe approach, you killed one villager here, and went out again. And again, you lost your archers here, and right now you're just running in your knights into his spearmen, and this is obviously not a great trade. This happens a lot to me sometimes as well. When I'm like in a forward position, I tend to rally my units to my current location. But in case I get pushed back or I lose a chunk of my army and I don't have the control anymore to hold this position, what you should do is you should set the rally point like in your base, for example next to the Golden Gate here, and just send all reinforcements here. So stuff like this is not happening. You just rally units into the death. Okay. But again, we have 8 villager lead. You just gotta pay attention for your cavalry here. Again, you're going into the spearmen and you're losing units for free. So yeah, the cav control you should really work on here. But even though you lost these knights, you're still 7 villagers ahead, and the HE player right now only has 1 relic. But right now, that was what I was telling you earlier is happening. The HE player is getting the relics he should never be able to get, because you had the map control, your units were here. So if you micro your units properly and kill the spearmen with your archers, and then the knights can clean up the men-at-arms, he's never able to grab this relic. And he's also getting this relic on the bottom, because you are not covering it anymore. You should probably have 1 knight here, just to defend this area. Because right now the HE player is on 3 relics. And 3 relics is 480 gold per minute. And this is obviously not good. 480 gold per minute equals about 12 villagers. That means as soon as these barracks are dropped off, he's not behind in villagers anymore. Because he has 12 additional villagers of the passive gold income from the relics. So, what can you do at this point? You know the HE player has 3 relics at this point. You know that you killed a few villagers already. So you did some damage to him, but because he has the relics, it's obviously not that big of a gap. And yeah, right now you're even behind. So I think a play right now is to go for a second TC yourself. You can buy some stone with the Golden Gate tickets. And you obviously want to try to pick up the 2 relics on your side of the map. You have 1, you're gonna probably get the other one, and then you should try to work on a second town center. The other part is, right now he's going for full infantry combo. He's going for spearmen, and he's going for men-at-arms. So, you could go for horse archers here. First of all, you are really mobile, and right now he has no counter to the horse archers. If you micro the horse archers well, it's super hard for the opponent to do any damage to you. So if you are going for horse archers right now, he has to go for archers himself, or he has to go for horsemen. But right now he has not a single archery range, and he has not a single stable. He has 3 barracks still, and yeah. So you really should think about making an army switch here, because you are still going for knights and archers. You add some crossbows now for the men-at-arms. But so far you threw a lot of knights away already. So I think maybe going for another army comp here is probably the play. You already have some archery ranges. So yeah, you should probably go for horse archers here. So, you still have the map control because you have cavalry and he is a slow unit comp. But again, yeah, if you fight in stealth forests, you always want to scout here. And the thing is, you still have 2 scouts. One is here, working on this wall since 10 minutes. And you have another scout somewhere. So yeah, if you have a scout with your army here, this would never happen. You just lost so much HP on your knights again, and he got really good damage onto you. But again, this fight is not too bad, but right now you turn it bad because you lose all your knights again, and his men-at-arms can do a great job again. So right now he also has the heavy maces. That means he has +6 damage versus heavy. So even his men-at-arms do a okay job right now versus your knights. So you cleaned up his army. So right now you have 23 army compared to his 10. And right now you know his army is up here because he killed your villager here. So right now, you should not wait at home and like, okay, let him rebuild. So right now, this is your point to move out of the map and try to find some damage on him. Because you just cleaned his army and you still have a decent amount of your army. So right now is your move to move out and try to find some counter damage. And yeah, you should probably wall lately at this point. Because now you have the sacred sites. So if you wall here again, but you could, if you walled this earlier, first of all, he has no chance to get this relic. And you secure a lot of space and you also secure the sacred sites. So right now you decide to go for a tower here. But why don't we just wall? We cut the HRE play off from a lot of the map. And the wall is cheaper compared to this 175 wooden fortress. And then you still have to upgrade the tower, because if he's just decapping the side and you have no tower upgrades, the tower will obviously not do much. So yeah, if you wall up, you can probably pray for sacred sites here. You can wall behind his wall, what you did here. You can also wall behind here, so he is just closed off from the map. So, you have 2 sacred sites, you should probably try to capture this side as well, just to get the timer going and put some pressure on the HRE. Again, you have 1 scout here. Why don't you go into his base and see what he's going for? If you scout him, you see, okay, he has 3 barracks and he has 1 stable. And if you scout down here, you can see, okay, he has a lot of eco down here. So how can I attack this point? And it's still open from this side. So you have 1 knight here, you could just sneak this knight inside here, and you are about to kill 5 villagers here. There are another 9 villagers here. So first of all, you force a lot of idle time, and in the end you will kill some villagers because the knight is just faster than the villagers going back to the TC, and you will pick up villagers left and right. That is the problem. You're playing Cav, but you're not using it because he is not fully walled. Like, you can go everywhere right now. He has a wall here, but that's all he has. He is open on this side, so you can just sneak in here and try to find some damage down there. So now you try to go for walls yourself. You go for even more aggressive walls. I don't dislike it. The more space you take from them, the better it is. Right now you also cover this, or you block off this stone, this gold and this berries, because you're going for even more aggressive wall. But again, I like it. So, what is your play right now? If you play versus HRE, you always have to think about, okay, their Imperial age is cheaper compared to mine, so they will hit Imperial earlier than myself all the time. So right now you see he has 1 tower here. You also see he has the emergency repair because he has the plus on his info. So at this point you should probably go into try to make some ramps. You can make 1 or 2 ramps, take out this tower. First of all, you take his vision away. You get his defensive structure out of the way, and you can try to push into his eco, because the wood line is exposed, it's not in TC range anymore, and you can also try to get into the farms. And again, you have more army. He still has only infantry. He has spearmen, you have archers and crossbow, and he has men-at-arm, where you have crossbows again. So right now, if you micro well, he shouldn't be able to touch your units at all, and you should trade way better. Okay, let's see what you're going for. You're upgrading the tower so far. And again, you didn't capture the 3rd sacred site yet. You could have done this like 2 or 3 minutes ago, just to put more pressure on your opponent. And right now you can see the opponent is going for the Palace of Swabia. That means he is going for Imperial. And again, you are not aware, because this is open. You can have 1 scout here patrolling, and maybe he doesn't even realize it. You just gotta really try to scout as good as you can. So right now you try to go into his eco with your horseman, but he has a spearman prepared here. So if you're not paying attention, you will just end up losing the spearman. Okay, 3 sacred sites are captured. That means the win condition is starting here. We can see 9 minutes and 50 seconds left. But again, you went into his economy with 3 knights. Right now you just forced some idle time, but you're gonna lose 3 knights and you didn't achieve anything with it. On the other side, you try to go into his eco, into his backline eco for the first time right now at the 20-minute mark. So this is way too late. And yeah, he will be Imperial by the time you arrive. And right now, as soon as he hits Imperial, it doesn't matter too much for him losing the villagers, because he has Palace of Swabia, so he has like 40C landmark, and the villagers are super cheap. So killing villagers as soon as HRE hits Imperial is not that big of a deal anymore. So yeah, you should have probably went for the Rams here. Try to take down this tower, because the Springle towers are, especially the HRE towers in influence area of the TC, are super hard to take down. So yeah, if you take down this tower, you can go into his base without any problems here and try to find some damage. So you try to raid on the other side, but his spearmen are here, and if you don't pay attention, all your horsemen are gonna die. And that's exactly what happens now. You just take so much free damage from the spearmen, and now you're running under town center and tower fire. So yeah, you had 9 initial horsemen here in the beginning, and yeah, now you're gonna lose them to the spearmen again. So yeah, you just lost 9 horsemen, and you didn't achieve anything with them again. So again, the raid technically is good, but you should have done it way earlier, because you could have idled eco here, and if you use your cavalry and you get into this area, he has no villagers here, so he can't make his Palace of Swabia here. So then he has to think about placing the Swabia here or here. But right now he has just too much map control for what he has. He is only playing infantry. He adding some horsemen right now, but before that he was only playing infantry, so he should not be able to have that much map control to place the Palace of Swabia in this corner here. And again, you're trying to take down the tower. If you make some rams, the emergency repair is so strong, so you really need rams. You cannot take down a fortified outpost with emergency repair without any rams or siege. And yeah, now you're just losing units for free again to the tower. And you also lost a lot of units in the southern corner. This time you're microing your units better, but now he has horsemen as well. So that means he has a counter to your ranged units himself now. And now you have to think about, okay, my opponent is Imperial. That means he is going to outboom me. He will have more villagers in just a second, because he has Palace of Swabia. So you secured the bottom side of the map, kindish. That means you have this bottom sacred side secured. And right now you have control over the middle, and the top side is walled. So right now, if you try to play for sacred sides, why do you make the keep here? You have walls here, you have cavalry on the field. That means your army is mobile. So why do you make the keep here and not just put it down here in the middle? You can make a keep here. Not only you cover the entrance point for him here, you also cover the sacred side here, and this one is covered by walls anyway. I mean, this keep in general is not bad, but I think for your first keep, this should have probably been in the middle, where he probably tries to push out, because this is the only way it's not walled. And you can see right now he is ahead in economy. He is making the villagers out of his Swabia here. And that gives him a good economy lead. So you have towers on the bottom side here. You can also try to upgrade it with springled and arrow slits. So your tower has 11 range. You can deny him from getting this food. This is just, yeah. You just want to cut him off as much as you can. Because this is the only tower, or the roofs towers are the only towers where you can upgrade springled and arrow slits. So you get 11 range on them. So you see right now he is going to try to break through here. What you should do immediately, you make a second wall here, and you buy time that your army can get there. So right now he's breaking through here. If you're not paying attention, you're going to lose 10 villagers, and your army is still in the proper position. So right now you charge in again on the spearman with your knights, and you just lose one more knight for free, instead of just tanking with your archers here. When HRE is imp, you play versus time. You really have to try to make progress. And again, you have no rams here. You can't push through this front of his base. That is the problem right now. The tower blocks out so much, and the tower is also doing a lot of damage. So pushing under it feels never really good. So right now you're running out of options, because you know, okay, I'm on one town center. I never decided to add a second one. He's out-ecoing me. He's able to get better upgrades. So you really have to find a window 5 minutes ago. By the time he hits Imperial, you want to attack him. Because right now you can see he has elite horsemen. And he also has elite men-at-arms already. So right now his men-at-arms do 20 damage. Plus 6 versus heavy. That means these men-at-arms do a really good job versus your knights already. And he has elite horsemen to deal with your ranged units. So right now, the HRE player is on 3 relics. He's Imperial, he has a 20 economy lead, and he has better upgrades. So right now, the HRE player is in a really great spot to win this game. You're trying to wall off the map right now, but this could have happened 15 minutes ago. And again, he's trying to break it open here. And right now he also has equal amount of army, but right now he has the better upgrades. So right now, if you have an even fight, he's probably gonna win it. Because right now he has horsemen on your ranged units and you have nothing against that. And yeah, you're just gonna die slowly here right now. Because you take bad trades from the beginning. And right now he has the better units with the better upgrades. So he will win slowly here. And yeah, now he's pushing you back. He is... you're still castle age. We have 35 pop difference at this point. And the economy count is about to escalate even more if the HE player is making more relics. But he is not for the moment. Not relics, villages. I'm sorry. So yeah. Yeah, right now you're just getting pushed back. And I think at this point, there's not much to do anymore. You're still castle age versus Imperial. His units are all upgraded to Imperial. And yeah, you're just gonna lose another 10 villages here. Because you didn't pay attention. And yeah, this is just a slow death. So what could the Rus player improve on here? He could have went for earlier walls. He could have tried to disrupt the economy of the Rus player with better run-bys by his cavalry. And he could have probably went into horse archers or add way earlier rams. Because if he had rams to take down this tower here, this game could have looked a lot different. Because if this tower is down, there's nothing from stopping the Rus units from going in here. So first of all, he can idle the entire wood line. He can attack on the farms. But since the Rus player was playing super passive and gave HRE time to go Imperial, and he didn't try to raid his economy, yeah, the HRE player is in super good spot now, and he's just decapping the sacred site right now, taking out the keep probably, even though it has boiling oil, so it's going to be hard for him to take it down, but he should still be able to get rid of the sacred site timer here, and that means as soon as this sacred site is decapped, your only chance to win in this game is over. Because you're behind in eco, you're on one base, you just lost a bunch of your army, you lost a lot of villagers, and your only win condition is gone as soon as the sacred site is decapped. You're trying right now really hard to stop him from decapping it, but it's obviously costing you a lot of villagers. But still, the sacred site is not decapped yet. But again, you lose a lot of reinforcements on the top because you just rallied them in again. So you just lost 3-4 knights again to his spearmen because the rally point was really bad. So again, you can just rally here behind your wall. And again, this knight, you can see, it's still rallied in. So right now, another knight just goes down. That's how all these 4 knights went down here. And yeah, you're just bleeding. You lose units everywhere. Right now your units are on the bottom. He's breaking through the middle. He's gonna decap this one now, or either this one. You have a keep here, that's fine. But you have no protection in the middle. So, I didn't watch that game earlier, but I told you in the beginning this keep should be here. So if this keep would have been here, he has a hard time crossing that. He cannot decap this side that easily. But right now your army is out of position. You're trying to power build the keep here, but that will not change anything. He will decap it here and the game is over. So yeah. So, yeah, there's nothing too much to say anymore about this game. The game is over soon. If you guys want to be part of my videos, feel free to give me some feedback in the comments. And if you say, okay, I want Core to cover my game as well, just let me know what game I should cover. Write in the name of your account and just give me some information and I see what I can do. So yeah, the secret site is decapped. Double eco, no army for Rus anymore. Rams are coming, a bombard is here, the keep will go down, and the Rus player is just gonna die here at this point. So yeah, I want to thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed my 4th game of my series. Once again, feel free to give me some feedback. Don't forget to join my Discord to get updated as soon as a new YouTube video comes out. And yeah, I hope to see you next time, and have a great weekend. Bye.